All right, YouTube, Detroit's HPTV. Back to y'all again this Wednesday morning. Seems like this week gonna be interesting. I just found a clip, another clip from Donald Trump's speech when he was at that all black organization. This is where Donald Trump is basically spelling out how Joe Biden is responsible for the immigration crisis and everything going on in the black communities that he claims to want to protect and respect. Now, Trump is saying it so bluntly. You know what I mean? He basically saying they're the ones that let those bushwhackers in your backyard. You know what I'm saying? That's how Trump putting it. But I have a question before I show you this clip. Y'all can answer after y'all see this clip. Do y'all think the Democratic Party will allow Joe Biden to debate Donald Trump for an election? Oh, this for the fair usage under the 1976 Copyright Act for commentary and educational purposes. Let's check it out.
Has been a disaster. Joe Biden has already given work permits, as I said, for 2.5 million illegal aliens to complete the total betrayal of black Americans. It's a betrayal. You're not going to be able to get jobs. We got all these people, and they work for practically free. And, it's just you're going to lose your jobs. And meanwhile, migrants are being dumped in predominantly black communities. You know that. Look at what's happening in Chicago. I watched women, specifically some incredible women. They're like mothers. They're people that love their neighborhood. They have pictures and names of their neighborhood. They're saying, we don't know what to do. These people are coming in. We don't know what to do. And the city is giving all of the money to them. They're not giving any money to anybody else. They're giving hotel rooms. They're staying in luxury hotels. And our veterans, our blacks and our Hispanics and our Asians are living on the streets with nothing. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's flooding our towns with foreign gangs and deadly drugs. Drugs are pouring into our country. But these women, I don't know, and for some reason it seems to be in Chicago, in particular, the way they have a group, it's just wonderful, beautiful black women that are saying, what are you doing to us? You're destroying our way of life. That's going to be that way all over the country. It's going to be that way all over the country. On day one, I will terminate every open borders policy of the Biden administration, and we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. We will also act to swiftly crush the wave of violent crime. And these people come from some pretty tough countries, and I said it before. They couldn't do what they do here. You saw the middle finger going out to our police the other day. If that happened in their country, they'd be dead within 2 minutes. They'd be dead. They took them a little while to realize that we're politically correct. Or politically wrong, in my opinion, but it took them a little while. But if they went in, you go into some of these South American countries where they have the guys with the bullets across the, Pancho Villa, right? Boom, boom. They got more bullets. You got to be strong just to carry the ammunition. And I got 28,000 of them to protect our border. Don't forget, I told Mexico, you have to give us 28,000 soldiers. The president of Mexico laughed at me. He said, why would we do that? What are you, crazy? We're not going to give you. I said, yes, you 100%. No, we won't. You know that story. Did anybody hear that story? We won't. And I said, no, you will. You have to give us 28,000 soldiers. We're building the wall. We built 571 miles of wall. We're going to do another 200 miles of wall. We had it built, and then when Biden came in, all you had to do was going to take 3 weeks. It would have been erected 200 extra miles, far more than I said during the campaign that I was going to build. But I said to Mexico, you have to give us soldiers because they're coming through your country in numbers that nobody's ever seen. And the president said, no. I said, listen, you're my friend. I like the guy. I said, you're my friend. Send somebody to negotiate with me. So they sent this gentleman over, a very handsome guy, tall, beautiful looking guy. And I said, I want 28,000 soldiers guarding our border, and I'm not going to pay. And they said, We're not going to do that. We had a woman from the State Department who was a very nice woman. She worked on Mexico exclusively for 25 years. I said, give me the top 10 things that you want. I'll get all 10 of them. They said, she said, sir, you're wasting your time. We've been after this for 20 years. Like catch and release in Mexico, like remain in Mexico, like your title where you have sick people not allowed into our country because they will give disease to other people that would never have happened. You have a lot of very sick people, and we all have a heart. We want to take care of the people. We can't have them come into our country and infect our country. And all of these things, I had 10 things. I went to Tom Homan, who is a tough guy. I went to a couple of other, Brandon Judd, great people, and they're very strong. Our border was the strongest it ever was. I said to him, no, you're going to give it to me. No, he said, I'm not going to give you 28,000 soldiers. I'm not authorized to do that. I said, I promise you, you're going to give it. Now, you're going to give us 28,000 soldiers, and we're not going to pay for them. And they're going to go from east to west or west to east. I'll take it either way. And you're going to give us 28,000. No. He says, no way. I said, way. And he said, and then I said to him, here's the story. You're going to give us the 28,000 soldiers. We're not going to pay. And if you're not, we're going to put a 25% tariff on every car that you have made that you stole out of America. We're going to give you a 25% tariff. Every single car and every product that's made in Mexico that comes into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff placed on it. And if you're not going to give us the soldiers, it goes into effect on Monday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. It was a Friday. And he said, sir, you ever see a guy choke like over a putt or over a pitch by a guy that throws a ball at 100 miles? It's like, oh. And you could see he was a little choky. He was getting a little bit choky. May I have 5 minutes? I said, to call the president of Mexico. Yes, sir, to call the... He comes back in about 3 minutes. He goes, we would be delighted to provide you with 28,000. And that's why we had the lowest numbers, the best numbers in the history of the border, the history of our country by far. We also did two other things. Drugs were down 57%. Now, drugs are 10 times higher than at any time. The drugs are pouring into our country. There's nobody to stop them. It's not just people. And human trafficking, and it's almost always with...
This is the closest thing you're going to get to see to a Trump-Biden debate. This right here, this speech right here. After this, I mean, they're not going to put Biden or Biden, even a Biden double if they can make one, to debate what he's saying. Could you imagine Biden sitting there responding to what he's saying?
Women. It's women. And you think of it almost as an ancient crime. When you hear human trafficking, you don't think about it as today in this world. Well, it's worse today than it was 1,000 years ago. And the reason is because of the computer, because of the internet. They search the internet for women and they grab them. It's an unbelievable, horrible thing. And it's big business. It's getting to be as big as the drug business. And we're going to stop these people. We're not going to do it. We did a better job on that than anybody's ever done. We had it because it was very hard to get them in. They'd have women put in trunks of cars. It was vicious. And we had it large. We had a big portion of it stopped. I mean, these are violent people, very smart, but violent, streetwise people. And we had so much stopped, and we did such a good thing. And then when he took over, he let it all expire. The person from the White House, from the Secretary of State's office, from State Department, she couldn't believe it. She said, you got every one of the 10 things we've been trying for 25 years. You got every... I said, I told you. I got every single one. I got things remain in Mexico. That was a big thing.
This is something else that a lot of people don't even realize about why black men are support Trump. We don't want a politician. We want a businessman. This is business. Get out your emotions. Get out your feelings. We need somebody that can handle business.
When you come up, if you want to come through Mexico, that's okay. But you're going to remain in Mexico until you're approved to come in, of which a very small portion got approved, like about 4%. but you are going to remain in Mexico. You had to see Tijuana. You had to see something. They became like one of the biggest cities. It was a mess. I said, they can't come into our country.
Donald Trump delivered the greatest speech ever as it concerns to what black people want right now with immigration, law and order, and borders closed. Does you all really think that they're going to let Biden debate Trump? Put that uh, question answer in the chat or the comments. Sound out Detroit. Peace. Keep your head on a swivel.